What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another great episode of our Smooth Club Podcast, the show where everyday men discuss everyday topics. I'm your guy, Arrington Gavin, and joining me is, of course, my guy, Mr. Cam G. What's going on, Cam?
Yo, good, and yourself, sir?
Doing great, doing great. And then, of course, I got to have entertainer, comedian, host of In Your City, comedian, Mr. Ciroc Fox. Ciroc, how you doing, brother? Oh, does Rock just pause on us? I think
he definitely froze in time.
He definitely froze on the right time after that perfect introduction. Do I need to read? I hope I don't have to redo the introduction. But anyway, until Ciroc gets his connection all straight, man. Oh, there you go. I see Ciroc.
Man, I'm glad.
Oh shit. Some crashed.
Oh, the power of live, the power of a live. See, Cam, that's what Ciroc gets for talking shit earlier. Cause y'all, we were initially getting all set up in things, and we were just having a little setback with the internet and the connection and all that good stuff. And so now we're just again, that's the power of I guess going live. So anyway, new news, y'all, for all of our viewers and listeners and fans of the show. We have a new day where you can tune in weekly for our Smooth Club podcast episode. That will be on Saturday of same time, 7 p.m. But Saturday on our YouTube channel, Rugged Evo TV, on our Facebook page, as well as all major podcast platforms. Again, iHeart, Spotify, Apple. We have a huge presence on Apple, so please continue to comment, support, subscribe, all that great stuff. Same goes for Spotify as well. And yeah, we truly appreciate it. Man, Cam, until we get Ciroc back, man. First of all, I had an awesome time at the VCW event.
Yes.
This past weekend, it was dope.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Sherry and I had a great time. Shout out to Jerry Stephanitis, who was our guest on the last show, who's the director of operations of VCW, and it was dope. I got to see a WWE legend, WWF really legend. Part of that Attitude Era, Gangrel. The man looked like he hasn't lost a step. He's like 50 something and still performing, and the crowd loves him and all that great stuff. They had another headline performer there, goes by EC3. He's known for the NWA circuit, AEW. Dude was just, it was a great time, a great show. And again, shout out to VCW, Jerry Stephanitis. And what else we got going on? Today we got a great guest. We got my friend Mr. Carlos Clanton, who's going to be on the show later on with us. He's the he's the chairman of the Norfolk City School Board. And he's actually up for re-election for his seat. He's for Ward 3, and just a very, very smart. He's one of those humbling guys. Just honored to call him a friend. He's from he's one of those rare politicians, man. And he might even not consider himself a politician. He backs what he says. He practices what he preaches. Really, he's all for his community. Born and raised in Norfolk, and he's supporting and representing Norfolk. Very, very. With high honor. So excited to have him on the show. Man, I got to get into this conversation, Cam. This first topic that's kind of heard around the world. Mr. Kanye West, now known as Ye or Ye. He had a Yeezy surprise fashion show going on, and he was sporting on his shirt, a shirt that said "White Lives Matter," and it wasn't just him; it was also Candace Owens, who's a very well-known conservative influencer, talk host, all that stuff. And I think we got Ciroc back. Hold on. Oh, I thought we did. There we go. Ciroc, can you hear us now? Are you good?
Karma kicking you in your ass, bro.
Yeah.
Karma kicking you in your ass.
My PlayStation 5 fell, man.
Oh, shit.
Not the 5.
My PS5 fell, bro.
Oh, I heard the crash.
Look what it did.
But that could happen, though. That plate removes. You should be good.
What happened? It knocked the white off the mother. That's what I get. I was talking about Cam so bad.
Yeah,
I was talking about him so bad, bro.
God don't like ugly, man. God don't like ugly. Oh my gosh.
I was about to roast his internet service.
Like, I just want to let you know, Sarah, any damages done, that's not on our Smooth Clubs tab.
No, somebody got to pay for this.
We haven't made it there yet. I can see right now receiving a bill saying I am appalled. Damages.
Who we working with? I see Roku. Who we working with? Facebook. Somebody about to give me reimbursement.
Oh man, well, Ciroc, after I gave that amazing introduction about you, I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to like bad luck it, but I'm gonna just say, hey, we got Ciroc back with us. Thank you so much, brother, for coming and for being here, part of the show, part of the Art Smooth Club fam.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, that was classic. But look, Ciroc, I was bringing up with Cam, Kanye West. He was at an event where he sported a White Lives Matter shirt.
Yeah.
Also alongside with a conservative influencer, Candace Owens, very well known, conservative public figure, and he's getting a lot of heat, and honestly, as he should, because y'all know I'm Kanye is an on and off person for me, and honestly, it's just completely off. Like I really, set aside from the musical talent that he has, man, this is on a whole nother level, right? So Kanye, of course, quick on responding to the criticism. He's like saying, I wore this because Black Lives Matter, the organization, is a scam. So he's using that in a way of protesting it. But even set aside from that, man, it's white lives. It's totally different. And what I'm saying, for the white people that tune into us, I'm not saying your lives don't matter, but historically, Black lives have gone through hell and high water for 400 years plus, right? Still to this day, and it's all about the message. Black lives. It is never when it was first started. It never said only Black Lives Matter. It said Black Lives Matter. So you have to really understand the phrase, the words, and the history standpoint.
I'm gonna make y'all mad. I'm gonna make y'all mad. Here we go. We can be friends after this, I promise. But just like when Kaepernick took a knee, it wasn't the action or intention to disrespect America. The intention was to question if America could be ran better. That was the thing. When he took that knee, he said, hey, I love my country, don't get me wrong. And this is me personally. This is me saying this, not Kaepernick. Me saying I love my country. I fought for it. I've killed for it. And I do it all again in a heartbeat. I love my country. So I mean this with the utmost respect. It could be ran better. We suck at some shit, right? So that was Kaepernick's way of saying that. Kanye was basically doing the same thing with Black Lives Matter and Black organizations, saying that they're for social justice, social equality, and all this other stuff, but secretly just counting their dollars that they rolling in the back. I have met personally 6 Black Lives Matter region representatives, and they all suck. They all are horrible people. Like, they're just not good people. Damn what they're saying on Facebook, damn what they're saying on Instagram. Forget all that. As individuals, they suck. And their goal is to do this for a living. Like, they're just trying to support themselves. They try to pay their rent. They try to pay their car note and their insurance off this Black Lives Matter movement. I met these people, different cities, different states, and they are all asses. So, and that's what Kanye, I believe, is trying to do. He's trying to go against the grain and make people question, what are these motherfuckers really doing? Oh, I forgot. Can we cuss?
Oh, too late now. Right now.
Beep.
We're no longer a family show. We tried.
But yeah, so the way he go about things is loud. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't do some of the things that he personally do. But I'm also not in his stature. You know what I mean? I'm not on his level. So maybe he's doing something right.
So I don't disagree at all with anything Ciroc just said. And even as Kanye went on to explain, quote unquote, and even when he said it originally, I took it as a shot at BLM, the company or the organization, not the idea, right?
Yeah.
But aside from all that, I'm fucking tired of Kanye. That's my take on this. He has a way of fading off into obscurity and then coming back when he's trying to sell us something and doing something inflammatory, saying something inflammatory when he's trying to sell something. It's the same play every time, and we fall for it every time.
Yeah,
I'm on Kanye strike. I'm done. That's where I'm at with it.
I agree with both of y'all brothers, man. Especially, Ciroc, you hit it on the head. So let's separate Kanye now and let's talk about just the organization Black Lives Matter, right? So Black Lives Matter has been in some heat because and actually the girl, Candace Owens, Candace Owens, she is actually gonna be producing, or she's having doing a documentary called it's like Black Lives Matter, the ultimate lie or something like that, and she brings up their funds, right? She brings up their funds saying, okay, last year or throughout the y'all been in existence, $80 million, right? $80 million in the bank for the organization, the founding organization. Right. The big question is, where is that money going to? That's just that's nothing to
I don't have a problem, not to cut you off. I don't have a problem with that being exposed. I have a problem with who it's coming from.
Oh, me too, Cam.
So if that's the case and they're on some bullshit, then they should be exposed for their bullshit. The problem is, we know there's an ulterior motive coming from Candace Owens, and
absolutely.
That's my problem.
But I mean, if the devil tells you that somebody about to stab you in your back, does that information, you know what I mean?
Like I said, the message is well received, but again, I feel like coming from that messenger. Again, Ciroc, you're not wrong. The message, we need that message, but I feel like there's a deeper, darker play coming from that person. That's what I'm saying.
Just that person, and to go in more in depth, okay, boom, 80 million in the bank. There has been not one but two mothers. One mother actually have mother of Tamara Rice, who lost her son due to police brutality or gun violence. She is saying that basically have the organization stop profiting off her son because she hasn't received any form of aid, any assistance. There's another mother as well that is the same thing. We haven't received any aid. If you think about it, when we had George Floyd, you had a lot of you had protesters, and then you had the rioters. You had people that caused damage, started damaging other people's properties, businesses, small businesses. The whole town was it was crazy. Not saying that Black Lives Matters was supposed to, it wasn't their job to make sure that everybody's, businesses in the community, hey, are you okay? Or what can we do? But I'm just saying, if there was saying a receipt that says, look, we received a donation from the Black Lives Matter movement to our businesses saying, hey, look, we do not mean any harm. We do not, and not trying to say the rioters represents them, but just a form of aid, just a form of uplifting, so that again they can hear the message. Because again, there is no receipt saying what has the money been spent on of the $80 million. We have seen the founders a lot in the public.
Living good.
Yeah, you got one that she has four different properties, and she brings brings up, hey, this money. And then there's one, I mean to cut you off, Ciroc, too. There's one also that was, and it was allegations that he stole $10 million from the organization. But go ahead, Ciroc.
What I hate so much about this is that all this gives so much ammunition to people against our.
And that was my point about Candace Owens.
Yes.
That was my whole point.
Off, bro.
Yes.
It gives folks who's really against our growth, our betterment, the people who really wants to see our damnation, right? These people who really hate us. It gives them so much ammunition.
See what they do? See, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
And again, that's my biggest
Well, that's what Kanye's doing. That's what
Owens,
doing.
That's what Kanye's she sits there too. On their platforms and points out these things and nitpicks, and they're like, "This is coming from one of them." See,
yes,
See?
And
that's my problem.
And that's exactly what Kanye West is doing. He started off doing it when he was hugging on Trump in the White House. He's done it ever since. He's continued to do it, and then this is just icing on the cake. Because like I'll read.
You gotta hold up. Can we acknowledge how dope it is that every president that's been in office has acknowledged Kanye West in some way, shape, or form?
Hey, Bush didn't. Kanye did the opposite. Kanye said George Bush don't like black people. Like, I mean, stop being this person that you're for the people, but this pettiness that he's doing, like
what other rapper has beefed or clicked up with as many presidents as him?
None.
You're right. You're right.
None.
I mean, I can't take it. And then Charlemagne basically said in his response, he said Kanye feeds off of white validation. He's the only person I personally know that literally he feeds off of white validation. Like, he tries so hard. Another person, oh my gosh, Roland Martin. He was on The Breakfast Club. He easily just said, I don't give a shit about Kanye. I don't care about Kanye. I'm not going to continue to. I didn't make a post anything about it. I didn't have it on my show. I'm not. Pretty much what Cam has, had brought up.
I'm done. We can move on to the next topic.
Yeah, Cam's done with it.
I'm so tired of speaking about Kanye.
I got to get it off my chest. There's more stuff. He has, Kanye now is having beef with Meek because in Meek's response, what happened? Diddy, Justin Bieber. I think Kanye had said something about Justin Bieber's wife.
It's all a play, dude. This shit is contrived, and he's doing exactly what he wants us to do, is talk about all this shit. He's beefing with Diddy. He's beefing with it. We know.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's a regular thing. He will be. All he has to do is put out an album or a song, and then everybody's gonna love him again. And that's what kills me. That's what kills me is the fact that
track record.
His music just reclaims back his fame.
He won't get no more spins off me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Over. No more streams here.
Thank you.
We're done.
And shout out to Yassine Bey, or better known as Mos Def. That's always called Mos Def. Mos Def was rocking a White Lives Matter t-shirt in response to that. So I mean, again, whatever Kanye tried to start up, it could be a blessing and a curse, for him. Again, it's gonna we're every eye is gonna be focusing on the organization BLM. Again, people can care less what Kanye's gonna continue to get more beef, but now it's like it's putting more eyes on. So technically, what Kanye did was accomplished if you think about it, because he's saying he's talking about BLM being a scam, the organization, and he kind of accomplished that. Man, that I could keep on going on, but I'm not gonna. I want to give you a headache. I want to give you a headache. There's one more thing I want to say. There is one more thing.
We can definitely let this topic die. Yes.
Like I'm gonna extend this conversation like Monique did the whole Oprah and Tyler Perry thing. It's gonna be 11, 12 years. And I'm still.
Yeah. You could throw me back into the lobby. You can put me in the lobby.
Oh man, well look, I see our guest is on board. So fellas, a great conversation, and we're gonna go to a quick commercial break. But when we come back, we will have Mr. Carlos Clanton, chairman of the Norfolk City School Board, a good friend of mine, and he's actually up for re-election. So we're gonna have some great conversation with him. So stand by. We'll be back here with our Smooth Club podcast, the show where everyday men discuss everyday topics.
Yeah.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
Shout out to that new commercial. Did y'all see that commercial? Shout out to that new Rugged commercial. It's amazing. It's beautiful. I love it. I wish I can play it again, but I don't want to be rude to our guests.
I was answering my text messages. I didn't see it.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I saw Cam just got back in his seat too. You know, I thought y'all my friends.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
breakfast
thought y'all
time
my
for me, it's breakfast
comes
time.
out.
You got me
comes
up early today.
Thank you, Lord, for bringing to my eyes your true friend. You always, you never fool me. You know. Man, look, let me go ahead and bring in my brother, Mr. Carlos Clanton, into the room.
Hey,
Carlos, what's going on, brother?
Good morning. Good morning,
man. Happy Saturday. Look, thank you so much for being here. Again, I'll do a quick intro. Mr. Clanton is the chairman of the Norfolk City School Board. He's up for re-election for Ward 3. He is a proud Norfolk native, born and raised, and I'm honored to call him a friend, mentor, and just one of those guys. Hey, you gotta rub shoulders with this man. You have to. So Carlos, again, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, appreciate it. Definitely sitting in the green room listening to you guys go on this morning. I'm up.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome.
Real quick. Can we acknowledge that he's a professional? He is a pro, because look at his background. Look how strategic his lighting is. This Negro has watched YouTube tutorials on how to do this. Look how good it is.
You got the halo effect going on behind his head. Yeah.
I like him already. I like it.
Hey, Carlos, the truth, man. Carlos is the truth, and Carlos. So tell a little bit about yourself. Born and raised. I know you're originally from Norfolk, but tell a little about just your background story.
Hey, appreciate the opportunity. Yeah, like to say that I am born and raised Norfolk, Virginia, out of Park Place in Lambert's Point. I am the oldest of three, single parent mom. I came out of Moria High School, class of '98. And as well as the Governor's School for the Arts. And when people ask me what my trajectory of life was coming out of high school, I was supposed to be a world famous opera singer. I'm a Black opera singer. Virginia opera. Gospel was my first love. Literally, that was one of the reasons why I didn't go on, because they told me I couldn't sing gospel music while I was at conservatory. So I was like, nah, so I'm going to stay. But now I'm back at the Governor's School, also serving as chairman of their regional board. But in 2018, and I'll just share this, 2017, I lost my mom. And my last conversation with my mother was she wanted me to, she felt as though I had so much to give to the world. And so she encouraged me to continue to go forward. And so I left my position at Norfolk Public Schools in community engagement that August. And then in that January of 2018, I threw my hat in the ring to run for our first elected school board, and was elected in May of 2018. I've been serving for the last 4 years and a couple months now. As you know, they moved the elections from May to all elections, even local now, are in November. So I'm up for re-election. And the main reason why is essentially that I'm putting my hat into the ring is because I want to be committed. I'm committed to the work. And there's so much that we've got to get done. And we can't, every time somebody gets upset or they don't see, progress takes time, and we can't keep changing seats. Every time we're not upset with something, we got to be committed to something, and we got to see it through.
That's awesome, man. And I know you got your hands full being on the, serving on the Norfolk City School Board, because I'm looking at the number of schools alone in the city of Norfolk. You got 34 elementary schools, you got 9 middle schools, 5 high schools, and then it says 16 accelerated learning programs. So as far as how is the state looking right now for just the school system in the city of Norfolk?
Well, just like any school division right now, we're all coming out of COVID. Our kids are still adjusting. Our families are still adjusting. We went into a situation where essentially we had students who were behind, learning gaps were still there. And then you put in a situation of an international pandemic that just made things even worse. But we've been focusing on making sure that, and I'll give you a perfect example. COVID really opened our eyes up. We knew that there were disparities between those who had access to different things and those who didn't. Just a simple thing like you and I right now, all of us are on devices and we got internet so that we can do this podcast. But a lot of our kids in Norfolk didn't have access to a device, didn't have access to high-speed internet. And so when we had to go into this COVID mode where we had to go virtual, we literally had to create packets. But I'm happy to say that our administration literally within 2 months turned that around and was able to get Google Books and Chromebooks and all these other things and tablets for our kids so that we could begin to address that. And we're carrying that on now. All of our kids who want access to a device and high-speed internet, they're getting that. But this is the first time in 3 years that we've had accreditation. And so that's with the scores that you hear. And the state changed that process a couple of years ago. That really rewarded growth rather than just a straight up test. And I remember when the SOL test first came out in '98, they did a kind of test pilot. That was with my class. But there's so many more. I mean, many of you all probably up here, like you may be a visual learner opposed to somebody who's just sitting there listening to somebody lecture to you. There's different ways to be able to measure and assess and attain where kids are. So right now we're focused on closing achievement gaps. One thing I can say is that there is not one school in Norfolk Public Schools right now that has accreditation denied. We do have fully accredited as well as some schools that are accredited with warning, but we're focused on closing those gaps and ensuring that our kids are successful.
Since
teacher, I think you have your hand.
My hand. Yeah. So as a representative of the slow kids around the United States, who didn't follow local government heavy, what exactly is your responsibilities? Like what like you're trying to get reelected for a position that a lot of people don't even necessarily know what you're responsible for. So is there like a simple way you can put what are your duties?
I can put it to you just like this. There's 29,000 kids. I sit on one of 7 board members who establish policy. We hire a superintendent that puts together a team that hires teachers, and we set a budget. We can't tax. We can only ask for money, and that's a whole nother thing. Because in Virginia, we have a Dillon rule state. So we have to go to our city councils and we got to go to the state government. And that's a whole nother thing when we talk about fully funding public education, because we don't. So my thing is I sit on a board, one of 7. My job is to go out and to be a voice for the community and to take that back as we make policy decisions, and to listen to the community and to be a reflection of that.
How does the community get access to your ear? Are there like assemblies that you publicly announce, or you got to like sign up for an email list or something?
So my information's available on the school division site. But just like you were talking about my lighting and everything set up behind me. Well, when we went into COVID mode, I mean, I would go to schools, I would go to civic leagues to stay connected with the community. I created my own live show. And so this is why I have a YouTube channel out there. I was using StreamYard to communicate. I send out an e-newsletter. I'm the only school board member that has a constituent website. So you can go there. I'm constantly putting out e-newsletters, and you can send me comments and I'll get right back to you. You can message me on Messenger and I'll get right back to you. So I'm one of those individuals that really believes that if I'm going to represent the community, I'm always going to have an ear open. You can call me. My school division cell phone number's out there as well. And I'll text you, I'll call you back. And if you want me to come out and speak to your group, I'm willing to do that.
Good to meet you, Carlos.
So obviously there's got to be like a higher position we could just put him in, like presidency or mayor, or there got to be something in the future above this.
I told you.
Man, I will say this. I was on a radio show the other day, and somebody said, politician. I'm not a politician. I'm a public servant. And there's a difference, because at the end of the day, I'm going to work with people. I don't get into political corners. I'm always going to be that person. Where do we find areas where we agree? And then we can kind of work our way back from that, and we can just agree to disagree. But I'm not going to ever be disagreeable. Because I know that I have a responsibility and there's too much at stake and too many individuals who are relying on me to make good choices and good decisions on their behalf.
I like him, Arrington. I like him.
I told you.
I tried to fuck him up, but I like him.
Easy.
He got me.
So Carlos, you don't have to be too transparent, but in your position, what are some of the toughest hurdles that you have to kind of encounter on a daily basis, or even over the course of a school year or whatever have you?
So I'll tell you, so we became the first elected school board. And unfortunately, in the realm of politics, you have people that are electing individuals to represent seats. But at the end of the day, we're representing the entire city of Norfolk in our school division. So you have competing interest. And we're navigating that right now to find that balance, being able to work with individuals who may have differences of opinion. But that's one of the things we talk about in school boards. It's not like council and stuff. We operate as a unit. There's different voices, but when we make a decision, it's supposed to be will of the board. And whatever the majority rules, you're supposed to support it, even if you didn't support it, in the vote. And sometimes that's challenging because we have some people sometimes who like to draw a line in the sand. They don't want to move, and we play politics. But honestly, the other thing is our teacher shortage. The number one thing right now, and I can tell you right now, the number one way to ensure student success is to have a highly qualified teacher in the classroom. And right now, the last numbers that I saw was like we have 300,000 teachers that have left the profession just at the end of last school year. That was June 30th. Wow. So when you look at that, and that's why I was talking about that funding thing, we need to fully fund public education. And I can tell you right now, almost 80% of our budget is in teachers. It's in the salaries. But folks don't even realize in Virginia. So when we see Virginia lottery, right, they say, yeah, we're supporting public education. Man, there's a whole formula called the SOQ funding, where they only fund certain teachers. Everything else goes on to the locality, which means that it's your tax dollars that are being paid, that are paying for that. And so there's a lot of challenges in that infrastructure. Right now, we got feasibility study going on for Maury High School as well as Booker T. But the average age of schools in Norfolk is about 50 years old. So when we're talking about being prepared for jobs for the future now and beyond, we got to look at the environments that we're putting our kids in and making sure that they have stable internet so that they can do some of the things that they need to do. That's just like a basic thing. And the last thing is hunger insecurity. I was just out at Sherwood Forest this morning because they're doing a drive for vision care for the kids. But parents are out there as well. We gotta, and I'll jump on that one too. Parenting, every parent is not created equal. And I'll say that in that respect. And we can't expect that every parent knows how to parent. And so we are really going back in to support families. And we're coming out with Family University so that we can support that grandmother or that single mom and to help them to understand, you can't just have an assembly at 5 o'clock in the day if that single mother's got to go to work. How do we do things that, is inclusive of all so that we can ensure that everybody's at the table?
And I can only imagine when you say interests are different, it's a part of it is a haves and haves not type of thing. Yeah.
I mean, you got to look at public education. I literally had a discussion with the gentleman yesterday who wanted to talk to me about vouchers. He's like, what's your stance on vouchers? And I'm like, I'm not going to support anything that's already going to take away from the scarce funding that we have for public education. Now, does that mean that I wouldn't support a public charter school? No, I would if I knew that it was going to support those kids and the funding was staying there and not taking away from public education. But you need an extended day, before and after school or year-round school or to be able to provide other resources. Yeah, for that. But I'm not in the business of taking away from something that's already struggling when we need to be doing the opposite. And that's
shout out to Brett Favre. My bad.
Hey, no problem.
Did I go too far? My bad. My bad. I'm just saying. It came directly to my brain. My man Carlos is preaching right now.
That was perfect timing, Cam. That was perfect. 10 points for Cam. 10 points for Cam.
He mentioned, funding for educators, but in reality, how do you motivate a young 17, 18-year-old kid to go to the educational field? Because me coming from my standpoint, what benefits is there to be in the, Yeah. You just don't gain nothing in life for real, being a teacher.
And to top that off, Ciroc, for one, you're in school. You already hate being there, regardless.
You already hate being there.
There's some kids that enjoy that, not some, but there's probably majority. And I'll further on that question a little later on. But there's some kids that enjoy it, but when it's like doing work and stuff, I don't want to be here. So they're definitely not thinking of becoming, a teacher. So.
Right. So how do you motivate some 18-year-old person to be like, yeah, I want to go through what I just put this lady through?
Okay. So let me break it back this way then. I want to change how we do schooling. We've been doing the same thing for over 80 years. And Hampton Public Schools has already adopted it back in 2016 from the Forward Next Gen Foundation. Right now, Ayrton, you mentioned about that there were some accelerated programs. Well, in Norfolk Public Schools right now, yeah, we have accelerated programs. And then kids get into that program, maybe 150, 200 kids, and then the rest are gen pop, I'll call that. You're in school wondering, why am I here? Why am I got to take this geometry class? Why do I have to do X, Y, and Z? Because you don't see the end in mind. So I want to change that. I am focused on, it's going to take us about 3 years to get it together. But just think about it when you were in school. If you in 8th grade had a choice when you were going to high school to go on your career track, and let's just put it out there, you wanted to be, criminal justice might have been an option, or, it could have been cosmetology. It could have been a myriad of different things. But let's just sit on criminal justice for a second. Let's say that you wanted to do criminal justice, and your freshman year, they're getting you set up, your academics. But just imagine if your science, your math, your English, and your social study teachers were all collaborating with that teacher, with that course that you have for criminal justice, and they were creating lesson plans that made sense for you. In other words, when you were sitting in that geometry class, sitting going, okay, I'm learning about these triangles and all this other stuff down here. And they told you, well, guess what? Now we're going to give you a lesson that's going to say, how do you figure out and map out this crime scene? Making things relevant to kids so that when they go on, you get that excitement. So now kids are showing up to school because they see a relevance in it. It's exciting to them. We're working with Taubman Community College right now so we can create dual enrollment, because we don't want to just say, because I know Rocky said for the slow kids in America, whatever, but just think about it. But we also have kids who are high flyers. So how do you, as an old superintendent said to me, how do we raise the ceiling and the floor simultaneously? We got to challenge those kids who are ready to be challenged, but we also got to step back and support those students who need extra support. And so being able to change how we do that in a way that makes it sensible, makes it exciting to want to come to school. And I can tell you, you want to look at a way that program's working, look at the academies at Hampton City Public Schools. They have a 99% on-time graduation rate. They have their freshman class has an entire GPA point higher just coming out of the gate in freshmen. And so when you look at that, it's because you've done something different. So when you add that to how do you get somebody to want to come into a profession? So let's say if we change the whole game of how you're learning in high school, and we make it exciting, and you want to now be a student that wants to teach and say, you know what, I had a great experience now in high school. Yeah. And so you grow your own. You have some teacher preparatory programs. Say, hey, you want to be a teacher? Hey, we get you on that route. But we got to change the environment. We got to change the culture, and that's got to be intentional.
And I like what you said. I like what you said that, Carlos. Yeah, I love what you said that, Carlos, because the first thing that comes to mind for me is just right now in the city of Norfolk, there's a lot of gun violence going on, and really whenever I turn the 11 o'clock news or whatever, they're involving the suspects and the victims are literally 16, 17 years old. They're getting younger and younger. So how important really is just your local school systems and like the education for, like you said, for the culture, for the community, because there's students that are going through hell when they leave school, and sometimes they don't want to leave school. Yeah. And those accelerated programs, those teachers, it's like that's their safe haven. So
yeah, you're right in that respect. Literally, public schools, a school in itself, is nothing more than a microcosm of the community. And so when you have young people coming into a structured environment, and this is why I have so much of a great focus on our students of color. Because let's say, little black boys particularly got a lot of energy. And if you don't have cultural competency to understand that because Rakeem can't sit down, it's not because Rakeem is being a bad kid. He's got a lot of energy. And so you've got to be able to be an educator to learn how to use Rakeem's energy. And so we had a teacher over at Richard Boland Elementary School. And guess what? She put out there to get a grant. And she bought all new furniture for her classroom, which are all movable seats and they're pedals. So that her kids who are at 2nd and 3rd grade are using all their energy so that they can remain focused. Mm-hmm. But the other thing is that we have to bring the community in. And that's one thing we've been doing in Norfolk Public Schools, become a mentor, being a reading buddy. And there's so many things you can do. And I tell a lot of our seniors, like, well, I ain't got no kids. My great-grandchild. And I said, but you know what? You've got time. And in many cases, you also can be an accountability partner for that young person, where at home they may not have it. But you could be that one shining light that keeps them going. And those are some of the things that we've got out there, where we are opening the doors of Norfolk Public Schools to groups, to individuals. We need you. We can do what we need to do inside the classroom, but there's so many other things, because a lot of our kids have experienced trauma throughout this pandemic. And when you start talking about gun violence, and I'll pivot to that one. we got to continue to work with city council and work with our city agencies. We got to make sure that our schools, like you said, it's a microcosm of the community, but it also has to be a tool within solving the problem. We need to make sure our gyms are open. We need to make sure, so like they're doing the Norfolk Nighthawks right now. I think the championship game is coming up, but you got to give young people something to do. And for when we came out of COVID, man, they closed all the rec centers, they closed all these things. And so things are starting to open back up, but you got to give our kids something to do positive so that they are not sitting out in the street and they're having idle minds and they're getting in gangs and getting, wrapped up in a whole lot of things, man, that where honestly poor decisions are ruining lives.
Yeah.
Well, like I wish I was a Norfolk resident, but obviously we got some Norfolk, listeners and viewers, watching this right now. They already know who to vote for the upcoming election happening November 8th. Hey, you gotta support my brother, Mr. Carlos Clanton. Carlos, I won't even ask as far as anything new. Just that conversation alone just shows the passion that you have for the
I
city.
know who my write-in is for governor. I know who my write-in is.
I know that's right. I know. Look, proclaim
nomination. Hey, you can take it or not, but they're gonna be like, where are you running for? I'm pretty sure governor. I'm pretty sure Virginia governor. Why is his name not on the ballot? You got to write it so you really mean it. You got to write it.
That is funny. Well, Carlos, do you ever think about running for higher office from I
don't close the options to anything. I just know that right now my focus is on getting Norfolk Public Schools on the right track. I won't be satisfied till 100% of our schools are fully accredited and we're closing achievement gaps for our kids. And that we close the compression and raise teacher pay. That's one of the things that we'll have more discussion about. But our budget this year is going to be how do we move Norfolk Public Schools into the top 3 in salaries. For our teachers as well as all of our staff members. And I'll tell you right now, look, if y'all need some extra, we starting bus drivers off at $22 an hour now and up 39. So
first of all, I'm way too funny to be driving buses.
No, you would be the bus driver. Them kids.
I'm not gonna blunt my blessing.
You would be the bus driver. They would never forget. But I mean, we got a lot of opportunities, man, and there's a lot of substitute teaching.
Plus, you don't want to rock those kids to get that second contact either. I'm sorry, Carlos. I just had to point that out there.
You saw it. Now I put the blood down when he came on camera out of respect. But don't go picking on me now.
Them kids gonna be chillax, not wanting to do homework or nothing. They be like, I'm starving, Mom. Well, y'all can make me a sandwich, please. No, I'm joking.
Well, I will tell you, we're working right now. I'm having conversations with the presidents at Norfolk State, ODU, and TCC to create a partnership between Norfolk Public Schools. We need bus drivers. And so this is where I'm like, look, why not get college students we'll pay for the CDL training to be bus drivers. So you go pick up your kids in the morning, you go to class in between, go pick them back in the afternoon. And the thing that's really unique about it is that we all know that a lot of students have student loans, but the student loan debt forgiveness, if you're working for Norfolk Public Schools, is going towards that. So think about it. While you're in school, you're getting a paycheck every 2 weeks, you're getting cultural competency, and you're getting credit to get your student loans paid off. It's a win-win. And those are the type of things we're looking at.
That would walk to Norfolk to do that. Like I know HU students right now who would walk to that station to drive that bus. I'm telling you, they do anything for that.
Hey, we're trying to put it out there. So I got to get over there to Hampton as well. I mean, that's my frat brother, so I got to get him in the fold too.
Awesome. Well, Carlos, look, we talked about some crazy conversation earlier that I swore I told Cam I would not bring it up at all.
I could step away. I
listened to it a little bit, and I'll just say this: I am in total agreement that I am not going to give recognition to a narcissistic individual. So
the man has spoken. The man has spoken.
The man has spoken. I love it. Carlos, how can we continue to support you, man? And for your upcoming just anything you have going on your socials.
I just tell folks, you can go to my website, carlosclanton.com. All the information you need to know. I literally have an impact study. I mean, this is what I'm going to be doing when I get off this with y'all. I'll be out I've been literally knocking on doors in my community. I believe I don't ask anybody to do anything for me I'm not willing to do for myself. And so I love reaching out to the voters and saying, hey, I'm your school board member, because a lot of them hadn't seen me because it's been COVID. But go to the website, find out the information about my platform. And the biggest thing I say is that when I ran 4 years ago, one thing I promised the community is to be transparent and accountable. And so I've listed everything that I've done, and it's all there. And my priorities for the next 4 years.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gents, again, Mr. Carlos Clanton, thank you so much for joining the fellas here at our Smooth Club podcast. Again, Norfolk chair of for the Norfolk City School Board, up for re-election for Ward 3. As you know, he has a huge heart and just a passion for the community and for the school system and for education. So again, we thank you. You're always invited, man. Please come back again, and God bless.
Yeah, wait. Before he go, listen, Governor Clayton, whenever you have your ball or your inaugurations, anything like that, you need a comedian. Book me now.
Look now. We got the Black and Gold Ball coming up in December for the Alphas here, which is down at the Hilton. So I don't know. We need to talk.
All you got to do is give me a hotel room and a list of no words, and I'm good.
and just hope that he sticks to that list. That's all.
I definitely appreciate it.
Take care, Carlos.
All right, y'all take care now. Have a great day.
All right, my man.
You do the same. All right, fellas, man. What a great conversation with my man, Mr. Carlos Clanton. And look, we're going to do one more commercial break, and we'll be back here with our Smooth Club podcast, a show where everyday men discuss everyday topics.
I'm a master of my mind. Manipulate the masses with motivation to move. This is the only chair I'll volunteer to sit in. Spinning and spinning. Each loop past the mirror, I see a better me. In true destiny, confidence is key, so these 2 week cleanups won't be memories. Hey barber, do you think it's possible to reshape the temple that holds my thoughts? Shape up in the hub makes me bold my walk, cause sometimes a lineup could be your savior. Do you think it's ironic that I can monetize my work when I stick to the master plan and get my taper? No more thoughts of getting burned by the system, and this new product doesn't burn my taper. Thank you. Let's normalize uncovering our bodies from that sheet, and we look stunning when it comes off, because we are masters of our mind. Manipulate the masses with motivation to move. Each cut allows more and more room to grow.
Bars!
Hey.
Bars!
Shout out to the sponsors of our Smooth. I'm telling you, fellas.
Where's that barbershop?
They are in that is our friends Master Barber Hub in Oak Park in Sacramento, California. Shout out to my buddy Mauricio and his brother, man. Great dudes doing big things in the hair industry. They're instructors as well. And again, we appreciate their support of our Smooth Club
podcast is going to fly us out for haircuts to Sacramento, California.
Here we go.
He just announced it. We're so happy.
That's what I heard.
That's not what I said. That's actually
not what I heard. That's what's up.
That's what I heard you say.
You're putting false things in my mouth. So I did not say that.
You're a really good guy, man.
Yeah.
Okay, not that good enough. Not that good enough, obviously. Not that good. See, y'all asked to stay for this commercial, but y'all ain't go for mine. See, again, I remember that. I will remember that.
I didn't know how long the commercial was, so I didn't want to, get stuck out there. The last commercial break, I was scurrying back into the camera. You know what I'm saying? So I had to stay here this time around.
Okay. All right. Anyway, fellas, man, again, shout out to Carlos Clanton, who we just recently had on, man. I mean, one thing, I didn't really know too much as far as how, really the school system and education, because me, when it comes to education, I was that kind of rebel. I was like, it's important, but I just, once my 4 years was done after college, I'm like, no, I'm done. It's a scam.
I'm about to start his governor campaign. What he gonna do?
I'm telling you,
stop me? You can't stop me.
Look, we gotta start this right now on the show, because I'm telling you, he speaks with so much confidence, man. And I wish I would have had him on a little longer. I forgot to ask him, some of his accomplishments while he was working in the office. But just to kind of say it, he had told me a conversation that when he had the opportunity to meet and speak literally with President Obama and his wife, and I mean, he knew everybody that was in attendance by name, and acknowledged the work that he did for the city. And again, I mean, being that high public figure guy, of course you like, okay, he don't really know me like that. He's just here to shake some hands, take a picture, pass on. But the fact that he literally, said the work that you're doing in Norfolk is something that we need to continue to see in a lot of cities in our, like literally he's like, hey, you're doing it. And, that's very, it's just, this is humbling,
how
man.
I judge public officials is accessibility. How hard is it for me to get in contact with you? You know what I mean? Like, it should be no harder than trying to get the manager at Target.
That's true.
You're in charge of this. How hard is it to get in contact with you? If I got to go through all these hoops,
how can you represent me if you can't hear from me? If I can't talk
exactly.
So, absolutely.
You don't not know nan concern, question, or query. You don't know a damn thing. And you saying you a voice for the people. So that's why
here's a number to call. Just call this number. I talk personally with my people. That phone is back on so many voicemails and stuff. Like
he makes himself accessible. I like that.
Absolutely. Well, look, man, Cam, you had brought to our attention a while back. Well, not a while back, but like yesterday. President Biden, man, he's allowing or he's I think taking off marijuana charges on people that are currently incarcerated or arrested on marijuana. He's basically saying, hey, you shouldn't be in jail for these charges, man. I know Ciroc.
I was gonna say this is the Ciroc topic.
I feel like this is
not the Cam topic.
Let my people go. There's two young men in jail right now because they tried to fulfill my order. Let my people go.
Oh my god! Oh my gosh! But man, that's really some powerful news, though. That's really some good news because for the longest, you see so many businesses as far as in the CBD world, right? In the CBD world, there's so many businesses that are making millions and millions of dollars off of basically marijuana, but their main thing is the difference. THC and CBD, same thing. But the fact of the matter is, there's guys that are literally their sentences are longer than assault charges or actual it's a small crime charge, but it shouldn't even be when it's legal in majority of states in the US. So I mean that's some good news right there.
So my thing is simple as this, right? Like we marijuana was illegal for the most part up until a few years ago, but yet anytime we turn on the television, we watch football, we watch basketball, we watch anything, we're seeing commercials for alcohol. And it should just stop right there.
The man spoke. Yeah.
Follow the dollars. That's it.
My thing is, so I think I'll keep this one short. I talk a lot, and I know, and I'm getting that old man shit. But America, they hate to take a black eye. They hate that shit. But regardless of their feelings of legality, regardless if they make it legal, if they not make it legal, it could be a felony charge. It cannot be a felony charge. Throughout the whole process of them trying to figure out how they feel about weed, their effect on the people has been zero. Yeah. Zero. I have never in my life of living have ever struggled to get weed. Besides waiting for the dude to pull up. He's always down the street. That's my only problem. Hey, I'm down the block. I'm stuck at the light. He's always stuck somewhere. But regardless of that, my accessibility of weed has never been hindered because of the law. Not once in life, not once through my ages have I struggled getting weed. It don't matter. It don't matter what they feel. So at this point, they lost. Just accept it. Figure out your tax laws and move forward.
That's it.
Amen to that. And like Cam, like you said, the fact that there's commercials for alcohol, how many deaths has alcohol caused? How many, DUIs has alcohol, caused?
How many families has it torn apart because
it torn apart?
Alcoholism.
Exactly. Where do you see the health risk when it comes to marijuana? Where do you see the deaths toll? Where do you see the, you
shouldn't be driving high. Let's be completely honest with it. Like
that's true.
You should. That shit is scary as hell.
So I mean, you still have to be responsible with it. My point was, one isn't better than the other, or whatever the case may be.
And cigarette commercials. They used to be for the longest.
We
were tobacco commercials.
We haven't seen a cigarette commercial in over 30 years.
I haven't seen a cigarette commercial.
They stopped that a long time ago.
Well, you know what?
We see anti-cigarette commercials. We don't see cigarette commercials.
The anti-cigarettes is motivation to buy cigarettes. They're doing the opposite to me.
Cool Joe.
Yeah. This generation don't even know who the Camel is. You know what I'm saying?
They know vapes. They know e-cigarettes. No.
Yeah.
But no, man, that's good news to hear, man. Good news to hear, guys. But anything y'all would like to add on before we end another great show?
I'm dropping a compilation album. One of the sponsors being our Smooth Club podcast. It's going to be dope. It got comedian Cakes on there. It got comedian Stephanie.
Yeah.
Hilarious young ladies who I feel like in some way, shape, and form we're related because these girls nasty. But yeah.
Oh, say it one more time.
What happened, B?
Yeah, you cut out somewhere.
I cut out.
Yeah, we heard Stephanie and Cakes, and you may be related, and then that's where I stopped.
Damn it! Now it sounds like some incest stuff. We tell jokes. It's on the album. Stream it on your music. Look for my name, bitch. There we go.
I had the pleasure of seeing this show in person and actually being behind some of the cameras on it. Really, really, really good stuff. I've always praised Ciroc and his funny. And then he brought two women to the stage that were just right up there with him. So definitely support this man and his crew in their endeavors.
Please do. I wish I could be there. I saw videos and pictures, but I heard nothing but great things about it, man. That was the week I had left to go get hitched. So I wish I could have stayed to do it, man. But
probably the only legit reason for missing it.
Yeah.
So
exactly. I couldn't.
And to me, it's still like
he could have left a day later. I get you.
It's like 49-51 votes for me. You know what I mean?
It's like how many times does how long does the pastor at the pulpit?
Really
for like a good 10 minutes. Good
yeah.
Come on. The honeymoon is what really mattered. Nobody care about the ceremony.
Well, look, fellas, again, another great show. Again, y'all can tune in every Saturday's new day for us. Every Saturday's weekly at 7 p.m. on our YouTube channel, Rugged Evo TV. Of course, all major podcast platforms, our Facebook page, our Smooth Club Podcast. Again, support every person you see here on this screen. Again, Ciroc has great things going on, and Mr. Cam G, of course, always doing great things as well. So we appreciate y'all.
Collaborate with that guy. Hold up. Yeah.
There you go.
Collaborate with that guy.
There you go. Well, look, y'all take care, fellas. I'll see y'all again next week. And again, hey, tune into our Smooth Club Podcast, the show where everyday men discuss everyday topics. And that's right, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right? There we go.
Word.
All right, fellas. Peace.
Yeah.